Well, 3 out of 4 is not too bad, right? In my last episode, I predicted that 4 men would be in the 2018 Wimbledon semifinals, and I was right about 3 of them, wrong about 1, Roger Federer. But who could have guessed that I'd be wrong about Federer? He was my surest bet, my safest and smartest money. But alas, the big-serving South African Kevin Anderson, who brought a very nimble ground game as well, against whom Roger was undefeated prior to this quarterfinal, has sent the great Federer packing in 5 sets, and I want to break down that match for you today, as painful as it might be. We have a lot more exciting tennis to come. I think these semifinals are quite interesting, and of course Nadal versus Djokovic is potentially epic. And we also have to consider just who is going to win the Wimbledon Championship. So that's the agenda. We'll break down the Federer match and give you a preview of the semifinals and maybe a bit of a prediction of a winner. So subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. This is Tennis Talk Daily. Federer versus Anderson was a very hard match to watch for Federer fans. After all, Federer won the first 2 sets. He was 1 set away from the semifinals and in fact had a match point. It was another near miss, folks. A near miss, much like the near miss against Del Potro at Indian Wells, much like the near miss against Coric at Halle. It's beginning to look like a pattern, and I want to discuss that a bit at the end of the video. In the first set of this match, Federer looked to be on fire. He was serving wonderfully, and his ground and return games looked dependable and precise. He won 30 points to Anderson's 15 over the course of the set. Anderson, meanwhile, looked out of sorts. Federer took the set in 26 minutes, 6-2, based on breaks in the first and 7th games. In the second set, things changed immediately. Anderson began to come alive and began to attack Federer's serves. Anderson broke Federer for the first time in the tournament in the second game of the second set. Then, after an exchange of love holds, Federer broke back in the 5th game. It went to the breaker, where Federer went up 6-3 after losing a mini break. Then Roger proceeded to waste the first 2 set points, which were on serve, by the way, but finally was able to win the 3rd, taking the breaker 7-5. At this point, Roger Federer was up 2-0. What is the likelihood that an opponent can come back against Roger Federer after losing the first 2 sets? It's extremely unlikely. But on the other hand, there was evidence in the second set that Roger was a little soft in the middle. I think after the second set, Anderson had some cause for optimism. I think he was saying to himself, I've got something to work with here. In the 3rd and 4th sets, Federer's ground game really faltered. He relied basically on his serve alone to get through these sets. There were many errors coming off the forehand side, uncharacteristically. He was just spraying his forehands all over the place. At the same time, Anderson began to shine, particularly in rallies. Every time a rally began, you got the sense that Anderson had the edge. Nevertheless, Federer had a match point in the 10th game, which he lost with a backhand mishit under the intense pressure of an Anderson 1-2 punch. Anderson broke Federer in the 11th game of the 3rd set and then proceeded to serve out the set, but then went down love 40 on serve. It was a triple break point for Federer, but Federer could not convert any of these 3 break points. Anderson went on to hold and take the 3rd set. Anderson then took the 4th set based on a single break in the 7th game. The 5th set was just a war of attrition. Federer was able to get to a break point in the 8th game, but as usual in this match, could not convert. Anderson finally broke in the 23rd game of the final set based on errors and the only double fault that Federer served in the match. Did playing on court 1 for the first time in the tournament contribute to Federer's loss? Probably not, and I don't think it's an excuse anyway. We have to give credit to Kevin Anderson here. The serving was about equally strong for both players, though Federer's numbers were slightly lower than in previous matches. It really came down to Anderson's ground game, which was just more consistent than Federer's. I think when the fifth set went into overtime, as it were, Federer said to himself, "I'm not playing past 11." At this point in his career, I'm not sure he was ready to suffer the indignity of a never-ending fifth set at Wimbledon. He just ran out of gas, I think, folks, and he knew it was coming. He got tired and he lost. It's a big loss for the Fed fans, and one question that we all have is, will Federer win another Grand Slam in his career? And I think, to be honest, it's becoming less and less likely. But there is a silver lining to this loss in terms of Federer's legacy. He did not fall to either Nadal or Djokovic. We should be happy that it was Anderson and particularly not Nadal. Nadal did get through Del Potro in a phenomenal 5-set match, at the end of which Nadal jumped over the net to go embrace Del Potro, which was very touching. Djokovic fought through Nishikori in 4 sets and claims to be reaching his peak now at Wimbledon. So in one semifinal, it will be Djokovic versus Nadal, the clash of the titans. Djokovic leads Nadal in the head-to-head just barely, 26-25. They've met 3 times on grass. The last time they met was in 2011 at the Wimbledon final, and Djokovic prevailed. It's a very unpredictable match. I think it could go either way. If anything, I think I give Nadal just a little bit of an edge based on the numbers. In particular, Nadal's second serve win percentage is averaging around 75% over the course of this tournament. That's much better than Djokovic. Nadal seems committed, but Djokovic has actually had more success at Wimbledon than Nadal, and Djokovic seems so committed as well. So it's hard to predict, but I do give Nadal just a bit of an edge. The other semifinal is the clash of the giants, the American John Isner versus Kevin Anderson. Isner leads in the head-to-head 8-3. He's won their last 5 matches together and won their only meeting on grass, which was at Queen's way back in 2008. But the last time these two have played was in 2015, which is a long time ago, relatively speaking. That was the last time Federer had played Anderson. Well, Anderson has upped his game since 2015. That much is clear. So this one is a very close one to predict as well. I think Isner might be able to squeeze through because he just seems impenetrable on serve. Remember, Isner has not been broken once for the entire tournament. Anderson's been broken, I think, 9 times. But on the other hand, brings a stronger ground game. So that one will be exciting to watch as well. But the way I'm seeing it, and this is a soft prediction, we're going to see Nadal versus Isner in the 2018 Wimbledon final. And I will have more to say about that final in upcoming episodes. I hope everyone is doing well. Drop a comment with your thoughts on the Federer match. I do wish you the best. I know it's disheartening, but stick with it. We love tennis. Tennis transcends Federer. Signing off from Boston. Bye.